Steven Universe and all associated images are property of Cartoon Network, Rebekah Sugar, and any and all other respective owners. I don't know them all. All footage in this video has been used for the purpose of critique parody under fair use. Please support the official release. One episode of Steven Universe that I don't talk about all that often is Cheeseburger Backpack. I don't like the art style that they used in it, and quite frankly, a lot of the imagery in the Sea Spire is stuff that didn't seem consistent enough with imagery later on, and I just kind of assumed that it had been retconned out of the show. Like this statue of a fusion gem, when fusion was confirmed later in the series to be something that Homeworld gems didn't do unless it was with gems of their own kind, which is a type of fusion that wouldn't produce extra limbs like this. We actually see a couple of statues like this over the course of the episode, and while they could be of the same gem, you can't really tell since this one's pretty eroded. So I just kind of assumed that at the time the crew had intended for Homeworld gems to be cool with fusion and then just later change their minds. That's what I mean by a retcon. A retcon is retroactive continuity, where something we learn later changes continuity prior to it, rewrites it, and sometimes writes things out of the continuity altogether. I had just assumed that this statue had been written out of the continuity altogether, that this broken and eroded statue had been likewise written out of the continuity altogether. We were never going to see them again, after all, so it honestly didn't really matter. And then a pretty recent episode, Buddy's book, rolled around, and we did see this statue again. Buddy Budwick saw it when he visited the Sea Spire, and he made note of it in his journal. There were some inconsistencies in the design of the Sea Spire in this episode versus Cheeseburger Backpack, but the statue was there, just as it appeared in Cheeseburger Backpack all those episodes ago. Clearly, this statue is supposed to still exist, and not only that, but they drew attention to it again. Then the most recent Steven bomb hit, and we got to see Blue Diamond's specific reaction to the loss of Pink Diamond. She's been grieving for 5,000 years, and while that's not a lot of time for a gem, we can see that even though she seems to have done so in an unhealthy way, Yellow Diamond has moved on from Pink Diamond's death. She no longer constantly grieves. This does suggest that while Yellow Diamond did have a close relationship with Pink, that Blue Diamond and Pink Diamond were closer with each other than Pink Diamond was with Yellow Diamond. Which brings us back to the statues. This statue specifically, the one that Pearl showed to Steven in her holographic representation of the Sea Spire at the beginning of Cheeseburger Backpack. A four-armed statue, forearms indicating that it's a statue of a fusion with a diamond insignia on it. While this doesn't specifically have to be the gemstone of the fusion being represented here, it does indicate some connection to the diamonds, and this is why for a long time people speculated that Blue Diamond could be a fusion because the aesthetic of the Sea Spire is very blue. But what if it's not that Blue Diamond was a fusion, but that Blue Diamond was part of a fusion? What if Blue Diamond and Pink Diamond used to fuse? I know this sounds really weird because we know now how biased Homeworld is against cross-gem fusion, and make no mistake, the diamonds are different types of gems the same way that different varieties of quartz are considered different types of gems. So it would seem like this is preposterous, that Homeworld would be against such a thing, and I'm not saying that it would be looked upon favorably, but you have to realize these are diamonds, the totalitarian rulers of a totalitarian state. They can do whatever they want, and just because they're allowed to do it, it doesn't mean that their populations have to be allowed to do it as well. In fact, cross-gem fusion could have been something that was presented to the general population as something only for the diamonds, something that lower-class gems weren't allowed to do. Maybe it was immoral for them to do it, or improper, or some other excuse. I mean, think about it for a second. The diamonds have a lot of power in their society, but they're still just people, just like any other gem. We could see from Sapphire's interactions with Ruby after the first time that she and Ruby fused, that she had wanted to fuse, but thought she would never have the opportunity since she didn't know any other sapphires. The diamonds could have very well been the same way, and if Blue and Pink already did have a special connection, it makes sense that they would choose to fuse with each other to experience it. And we do see in the answer that Blue Diamond was present on Pink Diamond's colony. Maybe it was her people who scouted it out, maybe she was needed to construct some of the buildings there, or maybe she was just there to help Pink with establishing what would be her first colony. We don't really know, but if the two of them were working on the colony together, then it makes sense that they would immortalize their fusion somewhere on the colony. If this old and eroded fusion statue exists, then it makes sense that this one does too. All of these statues could have been statues of Pink Diamond and Blue Diamond's fusion, immortalizing it in the eyes of their followers the same way that the two of them are likewise immortalized. Just more thinking along the same lines that led the Homeworld gems to make murals of the diamonds at the moon base, something that technically speaking is entirely superfluous and has no real purpose. This even explains why Blue Diamond's reaction to Ruby and Sapphire's fusion was so violent. We see that Jasper doesn't like fusion either, and that could very well be bias forced upon her by Homeworld, by her experiences on Homeworld, but her reaction was more disgust. Blue Diamond's was anger. Look at the color scheme of first fusion Garnet. Pink and blue. Not red and blue. Pink and blue. The crew chose to make her pink and blue? Could it be because we were supposed to pick up on the fact that Blue Diamond saw her as a perversion of her fusion with Pink Diamond? That's why she was so angry? Because she saw these two gems creating something similar to what she and Pink Diamond created themselves, as an insult to their fusion and a challenge to their power. Honestly, I think that the best evidence for this is Blue Diamond's conversation with Greg in the episode Steven's Dream. We know that not all fusions are romantic or sexual, that a fusion can be representative of any strong relationship between any two characters capable of fusing. But we also know that some fusions are romantic in nature. Garnet herself is absolute proof of that. And look how Greg is able to relate to Blue Diamond. He is able to empathize with her loss based on his loss of a romantic partner. This could very well be a hint from the crew that Pink Diamond and Blue Diamond were likewise romantic partners. I don't know, a lot of this feels like reaching, a lot of this feels like speculation, but I think that the hints are there, that the groundwork for this to be true is there. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some portion of this turned out to be true. But as per usual, I want to know, what do you guys think? Have I discovered a diamond in the rough, or does this theory need to be shattered? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later. Hey guys, I hope you like this theory. It's a bit of a return to form for me, something that's a little more speculation heavy and a little less steeped in specific details. I don't know, I've just got a feeling about this one, and it's a good feeling. I think that the story of the show could really benefit from something like this. Anyway, as per usual, I'd like to mention that I do have a Patreon. If you guys enjoy my channel and the content I make here and you're interested in helping my channel to grow, I urge you to head on over there and check out my Patreon rewards, see if there's anything you like. And I want to remind you that if you don't like any of the rewards I have over there, you can contact me and we can work something out, regardless of what tier you pledge to. And anyone who pledges any amount is urged to send me theory and review ideas. I won't promise that I'll do them, but I'll definitely consider them. If you are interested in checking it out, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But most importantly, guys, I want to say thank you for watching.